Hey y'all, Myria Com here again. They, them, theirs pronouns. And thanks for being here to listen to me ramble about stuff. I know that yesterday I said I was going to try and do some pop culture related Pride Month stuff today, and I apologize, but my brain just cannot handle it. I am too tired. Apparently, mowing the lawn yesterday took a lot more out of me than I anticipated. I am very sore. My brain is just like, I don't want to do anything. I had a whole, recording plan earlier, and now my brain is just like, nope, whatever you had in mind, it's gone. So, super great. Love that for me. And, yeah. I also had to get groceries, and it's hot and windy outside. So, apologies if the lighting gets kind of messed up. There's a lot of stuff blowing around outside, so lots of shifting shadows and stuff like that from all of my natural lighting. So, we'll see what happens, but it's a whole fun thing. Uh, but yeah, like going out, even just out to my car to go to the store, and then getting the cart out to my car. The wind is bad enough that even my cart full of stuff was trying to blow away from me. So that gives you an idea of how how kind of crazy it is out there. And it's hot. It's like 88 degrees last I saw. So it's a hot wind also, which is just kind of gross. It's like 50 some percent humidity. It's not the worst it could be, but it also is not very nice outside. So, um, I was gonna try and do some stuff outside today, maybe, but poof, it's not gonna happen. And like I said, my brain is just kind of like, nope, we're shutting off and we're not gonna do anything today. So, hooray! There was one other thing related to preferred pronouns that I did kind of want to talk about. So, since I'm not doing any of the fun pop culture stuff, let's talk a little bit more about preferred pronouns, I guess. I'm going to call myself an expert in this because I majored in English. I got a master's degree in another part of the humanities. And I started a PhD program in English. I did not complete that, but I started it. So I know a lot about grammar, for example, and things like that. Now, I know that one of the problems some folks tend to have with preferred pronouns is people who have they, them as their preferred pronouns. And people will say, well, that's not grammatically correct. They is plural, which is just totally wrong, first of all. That's not correct at all. A singular they and singular them have existed forever. I shouldn't say forever, obviously, but for a long time. And I'm going to give you some examples. I mean, we shouldn't need examples. It's just a thing that happens. So I'm going to give you some examples. First of all, it honestly happens all of the time in regular conversation. People will use they and them for a singular person if they do not know the person or know specifically the person's gender. It can happen in a lot of different cases. It can happen if you don't actually know anything about the person you're talking about, and you're talking about, a hypothetical person in a position. So, let's say, I need to look for a new dentist because my insurance changed. And I just need to see, someone has told me that this is a good dentist to go to. I just don't know if they are accepting new clients right now, new patients right now. That is an example of using they as a singular in regular conversation just because you don't know who that person is. You don't know what their gender is, and you don't know what their preferences are if that's a thing you care about. So, And you do, like, people do that all the time and just don't realize that they're doing it. So it bothers me when people use that as an argument against they them pronouns as a preference, because it's not a problem. Singular they them has existed pretty much since the English language was created. So it's not weird. It's something people do without realizing it in regular conversation. And it's just, yeah. That's just one of the many, like, that was something I had intended to tack on to my discussion about preferred pronouns previously, and I kind of forgot. But yeah, because I mean, it's just silly. I also, like, personally speaking, they, them, it works for me. And I know if we're gonna do anything outside of quote unquote the norm, so he, him, and she, her pronouns, if I'm gonna do anything outside of those two, that binary, they, them is what I feel like I kind of have to do because I live in a very conservative place, a very conservative state with a lot of people who are in a conservative mindset. And even if they can change their minds, and even if they can, like, see, oh, okay, this is what someone prefers, so I'm going to go with that, I know that any of the other gender neutral pronouns would be a lot harder for people around here. And harder for me. It would be harder for me to remember as well. I have no problem with other people using them. I have no problem with, like, thinking about them in terms of other people if they tell me that's what they prefer. If you prefer Z and Zer, that's fine. I can keep track of that and I can use that for you. Whatever. They, them is just easier for me. It's easier for me from a grammatical standpoint as well because, as I said, singular they and them are a thing that have existed in the English language for a long time. I can't put an actual date on it. You could look it up, though. I guarantee you that it has been around for a long time. So, yeah. And it, like I said, it is something people use in regular everyday conversation without even realizing it because they don't think about it. I literally just did it. So, I mean, that could have been singular or plural, realistically, when I just said it in that previous sentence. Yeah. Anyway, not a big conversation today, but one that was a thing. I am also still looking into, or just trying to come up with, a gender neutral term for aunt and uncle that is not as cumbersome, I guess is the word I'm going to use, as some of the ones I've found when I've been looking things up. I don't like ankle. I just don't like that one. First of all, that's an existing word that means something totally different. Like, I don't want to be really confusing to people. And I hate pibbling. I hate pibbling so much. I wish I didn't, but I hate it so much. It's too wonky and weird. I don't like it. And no one's gonna know what that means if someone else says it in conversation, so... I don't want to make things really complicated for my niece and nephew. Or for my brother, if he is talking to my niece and nephew about me. I don't want to make things awkward and weird. So, I mean, realistically, for me, it doesn't even matter if there is an honorific associated with my name, like aunt or uncle. They're sort of, you could consider them to be honorifics. I don't know. So, like, I don't need that. If my niece and nephew just want to refer to me with my name and nothing in front of it, that's also fine by me. I do not care. That works perfectly fine for me. So, I mean, I can just tell them that. You don't have to call me anything. Like, you don't have to use a word in front of my name. That's fine. But if we could come up with a good one, as a community, as a group, a good one that, like, is not cumbersome and weird and complicated for people to remember, and not like something that will require a ridiculous amount of explanation every time someone uses it. Like, I understand where pibbling came from. It's, oh, they're my parents' sibling. I get that that's where that came from. But having to like, I don't want to make kids have to explain that to their friends or whatever if they use that term in relation to their parents' siblings. I don't know. That just seems overcomplicated. Maybe if it became a word that everyone was using all the time, it wouldn't be so complicated, I guess. But. And I just don't like ankle. I don't know. There are other ones I have seen. Those are the two that stick in my head because they're the ones I think most people were latching on to when I was looking stuff up about it. I just don't really like either of them. So, yeah. If y'all know of a better gender neutral term for aunt and uncle, let me know. I would appreciate that. And I'm going to leave it there because I am just rambling at this point and I don't have a lot to say. And I'm getting distracted by the wind. So, yeah. Thanks for being here to listen. I appreciate that. Let me know if you have any comments, and I will try and chat at you again tomorrow. Bye.